Hey everyone, what's going on? I'm Josh. I'm gonna have a bit of a fucking rant. You don't like rants, you don't like my rants, get off this fucking video right fucking now, get off this fucking channel right fucking now, because I don't want to read your goddamn pissy fucking comments, okay? It's one of the fucking reasons I have my goddamn channel comments and comments on my videos as approval only. Because I don't want to see the fucking trash y'all fucking say. But this fucking video isn't about that. I'm just letting you fucking know. This video is about two fucking subjects that both piss me off. First thing is all these conservatives, and I made this brutally fucking clear on this channel in videos. I hate when conservatives try to claim George fucking Orwell. I hate the fact that people try to claim that 1984 warned everybody about the left when the fucking whole point of 1984 was pointing out that fascists will use every fucking trick in the book, co-opt everything in the fucking book to get elected and in fucking power. Because the fucking party in 1984 is conservative. There's no way in fucking hell you could read the party as anything other than conservative. Because women have to dress conservatively, they can't wear fucking makeup, they can't control their own sexuality, they can't control who they love, they can't control fucking jack of fucking nothing. So it's like somehow that's leftist in some people's fucking brains. Another thing, when they try to claim George Orwell, there is an essay that I literally just read like 2 days ago. It's a short fucking essay. If you have Hoopla, check with your local library. You might have access to Hoopla if you don't know. Hoopla is an app that lets you borrow movies, TV shows, music, fucking books, audiobooks, all that shit, right? This is where I'm reading this. Because I guarantee fucking to you my local library doesn't have this shit. They fucking... I don't even know if they have 1984. They might, I just don't fucking know. But anyway, it's a compilation of essays, right? The first essay, called The Spike, which is him talking about his experience, and he put himself in this experience uh, to observe tramps and how they're treated in society. And I can see how people could say, "Oh, that was misery tourism," and because George Orwell wasn't necessarily forced into those scenarios. But this is how little the world has fucking changed since 1931. Uh, Actually, like late 1920s, early 1930s, because it got published in 1931, but it was in kind of like publishing hell for a little bit. Like it wasn't immediately published. Anyway, so he's going around. He has become a tramp to gain an understanding of what those people are going through. And it's basically like this place they're called spikes. The Spike. These places are called spikes, and they basically round up. They force all these unhoused people into an area, coop them up, treat them like shit. Barely feed them. Bunch of other shit. They sleep on fucking concrete. They have blankets but no beds. Fucking it is fucking awful. But George Orwell was able to ingratiate himself to the tramp major, who's like the leader of this camp place. So he gets, he ingratiates himself to this dude, and he gets invited to the main house, like where the tramp major and like all the fuck people like where they live. And so he eats this eats this like magnificent feast, and they're like, you got to wash the dishes and take any food that has not been eaten and throw it in the garbage and make it so that way they can't the fucking tramps can't salvage any of the food. And this awakens. I feel like it's a quiet rage. It was awakened. A not so quiet rage was enraged, engendered in me by this shit, because this shit's going on right fucking now, and it's not exclusively just to unhouse people. It's to just generally fucking poor people. Where you destroy perfectly good food because fuck it. It's George Orwell's pissed off at this, and there's another guy who is like this holier than thou tramp, because he's only been being a tramp for a couple months. He's just kind of been. He's only recently turned into a tramp, and he, George Orwell tells this, like, oh, they're destroying this. Like, they had me destroy this food. Like, what the fuck? Like, why can't they give this food to the the tramps are getting fed tea and bread? Like, that's about fucking it. And this dude who is a tramp himself turns around. It's the same fucking arguments that like the people who are like, you need to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. Like, it's those fucking people. It's like, this is the sentiment those fucking people have, which was like, this dude literally goes in, is like, well, we can't treat him too well. We don't want to make we don't want to like make this too accommodating, and we don't want to like this again, like the same boilerplate bullshit that these fucking heartless, empatheticless, these fucking scumbags, like the fucking same people who are like, instead of helping homeless people, they'll build, hostile architecture. They'll put fucking, gigantic stones where, the homeless live. Instead of helping the homeless, they just don't want the homeless where they can fucking see them. Because they're not going to do anything, and they just don't want to see that fucking constant fucking reminder. And it's like, God, I'm shocked George Orwell didn't go around shooting fucking people. Because I guess because Britain didn't necessarily have a gun. But like maybe that's why he went to kill people in the Spanish Civil Wars, to like get all this frustration out of his fucking system, because he couldn't necessarily do it in fucking Britain. He's like, I'm gonna go kill fucking fascists, release some fucking tension. That's another fucking thing. Like, people talk about George Orwell, but they don't like to talk about the fact that he literally went to Spain to kill fascists. Like, he literally was like, I want to go kill fascists. Let's go to Spain during the Civil War. Fucking. But yeah, just those are things that have literally been living rent free in my fucking head for like the past week. And it's just like, fuck. Just what a, just all these fucking people. It's like Ted Cruz. Like, immediately when I read that guy making the same fucking arguments Ted Cruz was making, I was like, well, if people, if we are paying people more people on unemployment, they would getting paid at a job. Like, well, they'll just start unemployment. It's like unemployment isn't the problem. It's the fact that they're getting exploited at their jobs. That's the fucking problem. you know, and like that, because that's a whole fucking discourse thing that's been happening on fucking Twitter. People, talking about like defending not raising the minimum wage, and it's like minimum wage was supposed to be like the minimum so you could take care of yourself, and it hasn't fucking increased meaningfully on the federal fucking level. Like states have done, and they're like, well, food's really, if we pay them a living wage, the fucking the thing, like the food will get really expensive, as if there aren't places that are already stupid fucking expensive that don't. It's like, and this is the sentiment I take to this is one I've seen where it's like, if you can't, if you don't pay your employees a living wage, you don't deserve to run a business. Like, because you don't want to run a business, you want to, you don't want to pay. It's like you don't want to pay people. You want to exploit people. Fucking, and like that should not be okay. But in the fucking shitty, fucked up system we currently live in, that's just fine. But I guess people are getting, closer to the fucking end of their tether, and they're just gonna, you know. Anyway, peace out, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful fucking day.